Alright, so in my last video, in a slightly wine-induced stupor, I told you guys that we would make a carrot cake together, and I'm actually really stoked that we're doing this because I would not have put that much effort into like making this cake cute if it weren't for you guys, and I haven't decorated a cake in a really long time, so I'm actually really excited. You guys saw the process of making the cake. They turned out really, really cute. If you're wondering why I'm sitting down, because it feels a little weird to be doing stuff sitting down, the kitchen is a disaster right now, and I'm waiting for the dishwasher to be done because Davis and I are making a little feast, a little Easter feast, and that was stupid. I've been cooking like all day, and it's not even, it's like 1 p.m. So I feel like it's been a productive day for the most part. So now I have to clean the kitchen again. But anyway, so that's why we're sitting. I've never actually decorated a cake sitting down, so this is a first for me and you guys, I guess. I don't know what that means. Alright, here's what we're going to do. Oh, I didn't get a plate. Alright, 1 sec. Okay guys, the audio right here got truly fucked up, but here I am putting down a plate and then talking about how in bakeries we normally use these cardboard rounds, but I don't actually have one, so we're using a plate. And then I remember I don't actually need the plate yet. Whoops. But I made it. I made this plate in ceramics class. Hell yeah. Alright, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut these babies in half. So I'm gonna explain you how to do it. I don't remember what I was talking about. I feel like I could have made this a lot more concise, however I was saying it. Oh! I'm talking about how most mistakes when you're making cakes are from rushing, so just like chill out when you're making a cake, and all of the cakes I've ever made that turned out like shite were the ones that I was like fully rushing to make. So you know, like take it easy. Enjoy the process of making your cake. Deep breath. Smoke some ganj, whatever you need to do, man. Alright, so we're gonna make this little puppy a little more even on top first. So as you can see, it doesn't bake like perfectly even on top. It's a little lumpy. So I'm gonna show you right now. There we go. See, it's a little lopsided. So the best thing to do for that is get a serrated knife. Serrated is very important. And you can just kind of like start making it a little more even on top. Carefully though. Don't hurt your little fingies, alright? And these are great too because they're little cake scraps you can eat. Hooray. I didn't care that much about making it perfect because frosting can cover all wounds, can cover all mistakes. I wish there was a frosting for real life problems, you know? Alright, so the way that you cut a cake in half, as you can see, you don't like saw around it. You kind of guide the knife slowly by spinning the turntable. And this is really when a turntable comes in handy because like I could do a cake without a turntable, but this part would be really hard because being able to spin it and like slowly move the knife helps you a lot in like keeping it even. So you just want to make sure that while you're sawing it, while you're cutting the cake, just be aware of like where your knife is and make sure it's pretty much in the center the whole time. But as you can see, I'm just like slowly working around the cake, and once you've gone around the whole perimeter of it, then you can kind of start like moving more toward the center and getting the whole thing cut. But yeah, make sure you're staying in the middle because I've definitely cut cakes where like it was completely thin on one side and big on one side, and that's a hard thing to fix. At that point, just make cake pops, you know. Or a trifle. But look, this actually worked out like super duper well, and the texture of this cake is really nice. It's kind of like spongy, it doesn't crack and stuff. Look at that. That's like so forgiving. I love it. I think that's actually what I was saying. Alright, doing it for the next one. Oh, I'm saying how easy it is to use. It's like making a small cake is so much easier because when you've got like a 10 or 12 inch cake, you can't just like willy-nilly pick it up with your hands. But anyway, I'm gonna do the same thing on this one. I don't know if I need to like audio record that. Alright. And voila! The second cake is done. And honestly, I was feeling pretty stoked in this moment because, I don't know, cutting the cakes in half is kind of tricky and can totally go wrong. So we at least got started on the right foot there. Alright, plate makes a reappearance. Hello plate, my homemade plate. And as you can see, I made these nice little bags of frosting. I was super prepared because your girl's a pro, okay? I wish I wasn't a pro because I kind of messed the cake up later in the video, and I wish I had an excuse, but I don't have an excuse. So anyway, what I did there is I put a little dollop of frosting on the plate, and it kind of acts as the glue for the cake. And so there actually is an order of operations for like which cake you should put first and last. You generally want to use the top halves of the cake at the bottom because they don't have those really nice, clean, flat cuts. So you want those super flat ones at the top and the kind of lumpier ones at the bottom usually. So that little buddy goes down. Alright, and then you're going to see me use about a third of all of my frosting for one layer. But it sure looks pretty, watch. Wow. So yeah, this frosting, like, I added that yogurt in for flavor because I didn't have any more cream cheese, and it really did taste so good, but adding yogurt kind of messed with the structural integrity of the frosting. And what I really should have done is add more powdered sugar and butter, but I'm being really stingy with my butter because it's still kind of hard to find around here. So I left it as it was, and I had too much faith in it. I mean, it all turned out fine, guys, but it was a little like gloopy gloppy and hard to work with. So second layer goes down. I'm panicking a little because I'm like, dude, I'm using all my frosting already. At this point, I was like, all right, this might have to be a naked cake. But we keep trudging along. We keep going. We keep making spirals of frosting. If you're new to this channel, I know it's called Losing with Lizzie and I'm making a cake, but you know, conscious moments of indulgence, right? Like that's the time where you should enjoy some cake. And here I am wasting even more frosting because I noticed the cake was lopsided, so I tried to add a little bit in. It's hilarious now looking back and seeing how thick these layers of frosting were at the beginning because they did not stay that way. Like the frosting, the weight of the cake kind of ended up pushing the frosting out of the sides. Oh, where am I going? Where am I going? I don't remember. Where's Milo? Oh, I'm getting the rest of the frosting. I'm like, that little cake is lopsided. Damn. I think this is when I first started like ever so slightly panicking. Like, wait a second. Honestly, like I've had so many times in my life where normally I'd remake the frosting, or not remake it, but like take what was left and give it some more structure. But see, you can even tell just by the way I'm trying to make, like push the cake up a little bit, that see, it's kind of like there's a weird elasticity to the frosting, and I'm pretty sure that was from the yogurt. Alright, third layer down. It's hard to see from this angle, but it was loppy. Oh no, you can tell. It's not that hard to see from this angle, never mind. At this point, I'm like, damn, I have to add even more frosting to this thing. This is gonna be rough. Oh my god, and that's just about the end of the frosting bag. Wow, we started off so professional and now look at us. She's making a cake. She's trying to fix her frosting mistake. What a bitch. I'm just kidding. So like, it's really not that horrible. Oh my god, I forgot I had one more layer. I'm like trying to gauge exactly how lopsided it is. Okay, so the next thing you do after you get all these layers done is you do something called a crumb coat. And what it is basically is just a really thin layer of frosting all around the cake. And then you chill the cake for a while after that. And what this does is, hence the name, it catches all of the cake crumbs in a really thin layer of frosting around the cake. And then once that's all settled and chilled and like frozen in that little layer, then you can add the kind of decorative second layer of frosting all around. Oh my god, I'm getting nervous just watching this thing. I know it doesn't fall apart, but like, it's so lopsided. I'll do it one day. I want to do a better display for you guys. So as you can see, I'm going around and around, trying to get those little dregs of frosting evenly distributed all around. And man, I'm really getting to the bottom of the barrel here. Like, I know you guys can't see what's in that bowl, but there was not a lot left. See, if there was more butter and powdered sugar in the frosting, it would just hold up a lot better. It's kind of like when you're... Oh, I heard someone outside screaming profanities. I actually remember that. But anyway, when you have more butter and powdered sugar, there's more structure. It's kind of like the difference between when you whip egg whites and in between like soft, medium, and hard peaks. Like when you're making a layer cake, you definitely want the frosting to be as structured as possible. And I've had this problem before with cream cheese frosting, but the yogurt like really screwed me for show. It would have been perfect for like a sheet cake. Oh my god, look at that wiggle. It's such a wiggly little jiggly baby boy. Alright, so at this point I'm just really trying to get the frosting in like every little exposed bit of cake, but I don't know if you guys can tell, but as time goes on, the weight of the top layers is pushing the frosting out of the lower layers, so I just like keep going and going and going. My mind keeps flip-flopping, like from some angles I'm like, hey, this is not so bad, and then at other times I'm like, I went to culinary school? Fuck. Oh. This is like watching extreme sports for me. Claire Saffitz from the Bon Appetit Test Kitchen, during her cake series, I think she was actually making this cake maybe, she said the wise words that perfect is the enemy of good. And that resonates with me because when I'm making a cake, I could spend, like, what you're watching me do right now, I could literally spend like 20 minutes doing. And so at some point you just gotta say stop. You gotta say, bitch, put that cake in the fridge already. Like, that's what I'm thinking now looking at it. I'm like, what more could you do, lady? Lady in the red moo-moo. I keep like scraping off excess frosting and putting it right back on the cake. Lizzie, girl, hurry the fuck up. Oh, she's done. She's calling it. That jiggly little mess is going in the fridge. So I don't remember if I like come back after this. I think I do, but anyway, I put that in the fridge for like 25 minutes. If I'm ever truly in a rush, I'll throw it in the freezer. But in this case, I wanted the whole cake, including those inside layers of frosting, to get cold and harden a little bit, so I put it in the fridge. And then I played Animal Crossing. And no, I didn't participate in anything Bunny Day related. I must have been fucking with the cake in the fridge, 'cause I've been gone for a while. What the fuck, do I ever return? Is the video over? Hello? Doing this voiceover thing is fun. I feel like I'm on a podcast or a radio show or something. Alright, the cake is chilled. I am back, hydrated, Animal Crossing has been played, Milo has been snuggled, and I don't look relaxed at all. I'm panicked. Oh yeah, she lopsided. But that's okay. Oh, God. Honestly, like, if I wanted to make it really easy on myself, I should have left it untouched in the fridge for, like, a full hour. Because after that cake had been sitting in the fridge, like, overnight, it was solid as a rock. Like, I mean, after we had broken into it. But I got a video to shoot. I had an Easter feaster to make. It was time to get a move on. So see, oh my god. It was like I manifested the problem. I told you guys that rushing is the root of all cake problems. And what am I doing? I'm rushing to get the video done. Whereas I could have totally let it chill for longer. Ugh, don't you hate it when that happens? Okay, as you can see, it's going on like a lot more opaque white because we already made that layer, but I don't have that much frosting left, so it's really not going to end up getting that opaque. I swear to you guys, I've made good cakes before. I think I said it somewhere in this video, I don't remember where, but my birthday is actually in like 2.5 weeks or something, and I had to cancel all my plans, which is, you know, that's just the, ooh, that thing is leaning. Okay, anyway, I had to cancel my birthday plans, duh. So I don't know what we'll end up doing, but I'll probably make myself a cake, and I'll make a better one, and you know what? I'll film it, and I'll show you all. Honestly, I had not made a cake in so long, like at least a 1.5 years. So I kind of forgot some of the basics for show. Oh, this is like really looking like a hot mess and making me nervous. I think I'm gonna skip ahead. Oh god, oh my god. I think I may have led people astray because the beginning of this video is all nice and calm and edited, all pretty, and then it's like totally not a relaxing process ultimately. I didn't pay attention to whenever Milo reappeared in the background. I really do feel like I'm a podcast host. Do you guys listen to podcasts? I feel like I should be going like, do you need a responsive website design team? Well, head to Squarespace where you can make a beautiful website. Or like, do you need a fucking comfortable mattress? Casper is the way to go, y'all. Sponsored by Casper. Not really. What are the other ones? ZipRecruiter? I don't know. I'm just bored watching myself make this cake. If I'm bored, then I should probably skip ahead. See, normally if the cake had good structure and a nice crumb coat, this part should only take a few minutes, honestly. Like, it should be pretty quick, but because I'm like fighting against the cake being lopsided and trying to push it to be normal, it definitely took longer. You can really see the gears turning in my head too. Another thing I like to do to give frosting structure is at the very end, I'll throw some cream into the frosting, and then I'll just whip it until the cream in the frosting whips up also, and it just gives it this really nice, like, light, airy texture, and it's not as, like, gloppy as this, but guess who didn't have cream? This girl. Okay, it was at this moment I decided to do something drastic, and I think at first it made it look terrible, and then I kind of made it work in the end. You know where I'm going with this. I was like, fuck it, I'm never gonna make it look nice and neat, so I might as well intentionally fuck it up. Oh. I'm like, well, it gotta go all in, man. You can't go halfway. I mean, here goes nothing. Oh, wait, not yet. Here goes nothing. So then I was like, you know what, I better cover up this monstrosity with a bunch of toasted walnuts. And I didn't really have a good plan of action for how to get these on, so it was a little bit awkward. Like, normally what you could do is that your cake would have such good structure that you can literally, like, hold it to the side or even upside down and just kind of sprinkle the walnuts on it. But this cake is not a Dairy Queen Blizzard. I could not hold this cake upside down. I've never actually had one of those, by the way. But anyway, I knew that the moment I leaned this cake over, it would be a disaster. So I just, like, painstakingly pushed them onto the side of the cake. You can see in my face that I'm kind of disappointed. I thought I was gonna impress you guys, and then I made a shitty cake. Aw, nuts. I'd like to throw in here that pecans are also a perfectly acceptable nut to use in your cake. Oh, at this point, I'm like, oh, never mind. I'm just trying to clean shit up. Yeah, I was literally about to say that thing is leaning. Use gravity, girl. Look at that. That already, like, totally fixed it a little bit. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. Pecans are also good with carrot cake. You don't gotta just do walnuts. Oh, and truth be told, like, the moment I put this thing in the freezer, I, like, stood there with the freezer door open, and I stuck a bunch more walnuts on the side to try and cover up the disaster. Oh my god, I totally forgot that I just went for this. I totally thought that I put it in the fridge first. That's what I would have done. Psh, bitch, this is you. Okay, so what I attempted to do was something I, like, saw on Pinterest. And I got the message across, but it definitely... This is all the frosting's fault. Stupid yogurt. Okay, damn, yeah, we're going for it. Go to town, lady. I wonder if you guys can hear Milo snoring in the background. So see, look at how weird and, like, elastic it is. Normally, the frosting should just let go. It shouldn't be, like, stretchy and sticking to the piping bag. That was weird. That's when I was like, what have I done? Yeah, it's so strange. It's like almost like, looks like, I don't even know. I'm lucky that didn't fall off. I put that way close to the edge. I was like really just trying to get this thing quickly decorated and into the freezer as soon as possible. Like normally this is my favorite part of decorating a cake, and I'll spend so much time making little frosting details. Oh, I'm totally gonna do that for my birthday. I'm actually really excited for that now. I'm Russian, and I was even thinking, like, at this moment, I kept thinking, there's no way the tops of this carrot's gonna work. Oh, I totally forgot to even mention this in the video, but you see how the carrots are orange? Okay. I only had yellow frosting, or yellow food dye, and I was like, what am I gonna do? And I did something that I thought was kinda ingenious. I had like those red sugar sprinkles, and I made a teeny bowl of them and put in some super hot water, just a little bit, and it extracted all of the dye out of the sprinkles, and so I had this little like red dye, and so I just added that to the yellow frosting, and I made orange. Bada bing. That could actually be why the texture is so dang weird. Okay, get it in the fridge. Look at me Russian. I was basically running. Fat girl running. Lovely. So, like, could I have done better? Yeah. Was I still really excited to make and eat a cake? Yeah. And honestly, look at all those layers turned out really nicely. Davis gets some cake. Yay, I'm such a good housewife. So yeah, I mean, it's not the most like professional looking cake in the world by any means. Not the most professional cake I've ever made, but also not the worst looking cake I've ever made. So I'd give it like a B minus for my standards. I could do better for sure, but I honestly, just making a cake was really fun. It made my whole Sunday a lot more fun, especially on a day when I was like missing my family. It was really cool to just get to bake something. And since I filmed it for you guys, I put in more effort, and I thought that was really cool. Ooh, look, suddenly it's a mukbang. God, I never realized until I started filming myself how introspective and thoughtful I look after I take a bite of a new food. But I will say, this carrot cake recipe was so good. Like, it's for sure gonna be my go-to forever. Bon Appetit's BA's best carrot cake. It was easy to make, it turned out great, and look at that. I mean, that's the money shot, honestly. Like, who cares if it's lopsided? All you want is some delicious cake and some cream cheese frosting. Look at me, I'm so happy. Feeders, go home. We don't want you here. It's not a mukbang. Alright guys, well, I'm really sorry the audio got so messed up. Hopefully you don't have to do voiceovers again, but lesson learned that I'll do an audio check before I start filming my videos. I mean, you live and you learn, especially with the YouTubes, so, oh god, and with making cake. I don't know what the point is of me doing this now, honestly, but anyway, yeah, this is extra weird to do an outro because I see myself talking, and I'm talking now. But yeah, I hope the video was enjoyable anyway, and it was a little unconventional for my channel in terms of the content and the way it was edited and stuff. We're gonna get back to the healthy content ASAP, don't you worry, and get back to me speaking normally. Unless you guys like weirdly liked this, in which case I guess I could do it again. I really have no idea. I have a feeling it's gonna be a flop though. Alright guys, goodbye, thank you for watching, and I'll see ya in the next one.